What happens when two of HYBE's most talked about rookie groups take on one of the biggest music festivals in the world on the same day? On the final Sunday of Lollapalooza Chicago 2025, Catseye and BOYNEXTDOOR pulled off very different stages, different sounds, and two completely different performance styles. Yet, both groups walked away leaving their mark. And this video that you're watching breaks down how both groups made Lollapalooza their own. From the crowd reactions to the behind-the-scenes struggles to the moments that truly defined each performance. Okay, so let's start with Catseye. So Catseye took the T-Mobile stage on Sunday with one goal in mind, which was to show the world exactly who they are, and they absolutely killed it. They're less than a year into their official debut, and Catseye made their Lollapalooza debut and delivered one of the most talked about sets that day. And what made it even more remarkable was that Catseye's slot was in early afternoon, which is a time typically reserved for warming up the crowd. But Catseye didn't warm up anything, they purely fired. According to local festival data and global streaming numbers, an estimated 85,000 people gathered at the stage between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m., making it the largest daytime crowd ever recorded at Lollapalooza. And add in 250,000 live stream viewers on Weverse and another 117,000 on YouTube, and you're looking at over 420,000 people worldwide tuning in live. And it was their first ever major festival appearance, and they didn't hold back. From the moment the opening VCR rolled, the six members, Manon, Daniela, Sophia, Megan, and Lara and Yunche, transformed the entire stage into a full-scale production. Speaking of which, here is the full set list. So the show kicked off with Game Boy, the title track of their second EP, Beautiful Chaos, and what followed was a carefully constructed, high-energy, 40-minute set that flowed like a story, from debut-era nostalgia from Soft is Strong, Sis EP, to fresh musical experience from Beautiful Chaos. And among the biggest standouts was the live premiere of Gabriella. It was one of the most theatrical numbers of the day, complete with costume and lighting shifts that made it feel more like a scene from a stage musical than a festival song. It was fantastic. And overall, each track had its own aesthetic and mood. Whether it was the explosive dance breaks in debut or the extended outro of fan favorite Gnarly. Catseye moved between songs with the ease of a veteran group. And even in a festival setting, where production limits can often flatten a group's impact, Catseye managed to deliver a full concept performance, visually, musically, and emotionally cohesive. And what sets Catseye apart isn't just their choreography or visuals, it's how much fans, icons, connect with who they are off stage. Online reactions made that point clear. Many fans pointed out that their interest in Catseye didn't start with the viral performance. It started with personality, like clips from interviews, Weverse lives, or even chaotic behind-the-scenes content had gone viral in recent months. And the consensus is that these girls are super fun, unpredictable, chaotic, but deeply human. So one fan wrote, I kept seeing YouTube shorts of them being goofy, then it turned to me intentionally watching their TikToks, Insta Lives, and performance covers. And that sense of connection was everywhere during the set also. The fans waved their newly released official light sticks, wore gnarly merch, and sang along, word for word. And it felt more like a, victory lap than an introduction. Still, some fans on Reddit and social platforms are tempering expectations. While a few floated the idea of Catseye returning as Coachella or Lollapalooza headliners within a couple of years. But other people pointed out that bigger chart success, or at least a Hot 100 top 10 single, might be a prerequisite. But even skeptics admitted that they are watching this group now closely. And after the show, all six members posted heartfelt messages to fans on Weverse. Daniela wrote, Icons, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed our Lala set. We had so much fun performing for all of you. Love you guys so much. Heart. Sophia wrote, "My loves, thank you for making my dreams come true every day. Icons, I genuinely mean this from the bottom of my warm heart. You are everything to me, and I love that I get to do what brings me joy in front of y'all. I love you." Yunche wrote, "Icons, I love you all so much. I can't believe that so many of Icons came to see our show today. Literally, dreams came true. It's all because of Icons, and it's always all for Icons. Thank you so much for coming today. This will be one of my favorite memory in my life. I love you so much. See you at Summer Sonic. I tried deep dish pizza finally, and it's really good, Chicago." If you have watched Yunche's footage or social media videos lately, her English is getting better and better every day. So it was really impressive and great to see her growth. Also, let's see. Lara wrote, "I love you guys so much. I'm speechless. My dreams came true. Thank you so much for coming, live streaming. I'm so grateful. I literally can't even put it into words. Today was the best day of my life." And Megan wrote, "No, y'all snaps. Okay, but for real, I had so much fun. Thank you guys so much for your energy. I will always remember this." And Manon, "Thank you all so much for Lola. That was the best experience of my life." Oh, shit, the typo. "I love you all so much and see you soon." So there you go. I feel like, this Lollapalooza performance wasn't a one-off. Catseye's already confirmed to perform at Summer Sonic 2025 in Osaka and Tokyo later this month, August 16 to 17, if I remember correctly. And they're launching their first North American tour this November. And that gives them a few crucial months to build on this moment. If their upcoming tour hits the right notes and they continue releasing high impact tracks and, building on their global appeal, headlining Coachella or Lollapalooza in the next few years may not be such a wild idea after all, I also believe. So well done and congratulations, Catseye and Icons. I'm super happy for you. So while Catseye lit up the T-Mobile stage, just across the park, BOYNEXTDOOR took the Lakeshore stage and delivered something very different, something raw, grounded, and powerful. I also absolutely love this group. Performing just an hour before Catseye, the 6 members, Sangho, Ryu, Jaehyun, Taesan, Lihan, and Eunhak, stepped on stage with the kind of composure you don't always expect from a 2-year-old group. BOYNEXTDOOR opened with the title track called "I Feel Good," setting the tone for an hour-long set packed with intensity and heart. 11 songs followed, including, crowd favorites like Serenade and the soul anthem "오늘만 I Love You" and the infectious Earth, Wind and Fire, with fans shouting every lyric in Korean. I really love this set list, and they have so many bangers, And the group's live band added extra punch to every track. Like the synergy between the members and musicians was pretty electric. So much so that one member mentioned that they didn't need verbal cues, just eye contact was enough. And one guitarist kept smiling at the members throughout the performance, offering silent encouragement when they needed it the most. And what made the performance land so deeply wasn't just precision. It was sincerity. Mid-set, the group, paused to speak directly to the crowd, saying, "We have worked so hard for this moment. Being on the Lollapalooza stage means everything to us. We're here to give it our all and make this a day you will never forget." And they absolutely did. The YouTube performance video quickly racked up comments from both Korean and international fans. And some people couldn't believe how far the group had come in just 2 years. Others were, floored by their stamina, vocal stability, and stage presence, which is what this group is very well known for. A Korean fan One Door reflected on how quiet their early performances used to be, saying there was a time when the cheers for you were the quietest among other idols and seniors, 선배님. But maybe that time is what helped Boy Next Door grow this much. It's okay now. For the next 400 years, you're going to hear countless cheers and receive even more love. I want you to know that's not a prediction, it's a certainty. The hardships and trials that feel impossible to overcome will someday become just a part of the past, and the future that once felt unclear will come into focus. Congratulations on standing on the Lollapalooza stage that once felt like a dream. Thank you, and I love you. And international fans echoed the sentiment. One longtime K-pop follower wrote, as a longtime K-pop stan, Boy Next Door stage presence and live vocals are top tier. And the way they hype the audience, I can't still believe they are just 2-year-old group. Also, this comment. Boy Next Door are undoubtedly the leaders of the 5th generation. Their talent, passion, and hard work truly set them apart. They not only perform with incredible energy and charisma, but they also take part in writing their own lyrics and producing their music, which shows their deep dedication to their craft. Every stage they step on is filled with power, authenticity, and emotion. Their unique style and unmatched stage presence leave a lasting impact on fans. Boy Next Door aren't just idols, they're true artists who are shaping the future of K-pop. Now, what fans didn't know in real time, but they now know, was just how physically intense the performance had been for the members. So during a post-show Weverse Live, the group shared raw details about what they were enduring behind the scenes. Like, for example, the heat in Chicago was brutal, and the group had been juggling tight schedules leading up to the show. Taesan, for example, had been sick, and sore throat, borderline cold, and he had slept early, avoided AC, drank hot water, took meds, but it still wasn't enough. But he performed anyway. And Jaehyun nearly fainted on stage, Myung Jaehyun, the leader, from dizziness after a jump. And another member vomited backstage from exhaustion. And yet, none of that showed during the performance. What did show was hunger, and chemistry, and the experience they have quietly built up through their first solo tour. And it wasn't just the physical performance that stood out. It was the way they carried themselves. Jaehyun also shared a story from 6 years ago, saying back when he spent time in Chicago, he had dreamed of going to Lollapalooza. So he saved up. He saved up money, skipped lunch to afford a ticket, but never made it. But years later, here he was, not in the crowd, but on stage. And they admitted rehearsals had been chaotic, with at least one mistake in every run-through, but the live show was flawless. And before logging off, they also hinted at their upcoming Japanese single, Boy Life, due out August 20th, calling it really, really good. So I'm pretty excited for that. So there we go. With the completed first solo tour, Knock On Volume 1, behind them, and a successful Lollapalooza debut now in the books, I think Boy Next Door is entering their next chapter with great momentum. The group is doubling down on global activities, and if Lola was any indication, they're no longer just rising stars. They are already on the map, and that's how two of HYBE's newest groups found their place on one of the world's biggest stages. Each making the most of their moments in front of thousands of fans, with millions more watching from around the world. So, what do you think? What stood out to you from their performances? Were there moments just, that caught you off guard, made you emotional, or just made you smile? If you watched the live stream, or if you were lucky enough to be there in person, what was your favorite moment? And as both groups head into their next chapters, what are you most excited to see from them? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear what you noticed. And when you write comments, as always, let's stay positive. respectful, and classy. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.